Hello and welcome back to the Big Screen Banter podcast. I'm your host, Ben Griffin, and today I am joined by a great friend, Tyler Assel.
Assel.
Assel, my bad.
That's okay. That's
Um,
okay.
yeah, no, that's totally my bad. Tyler, so thank you for joining me on the podcast, first of all.
Absolutely.
And I like to begin my podcast always with introducing my guest with three kind of basic icebreaker questions.
Mhm.
And my first question for you is, what are your four favorite films?
Oh God, I have to think about it. I would have to say not in particular order at all. I'd have to say, um, Godzilla. I'd have to say Godzilla Raids Again. The second one is a lot better than the first one. That one was good. I liked Dinner in America. That one was really good. Oh, so good. Um, I liked the Terrifier series was always a good one.
Yeah.
That one's always very good. And then you gotta go with probably my childhood favorite is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Absolutely. That's a great film.
Great one. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. And so then my second question, of course, is what exactly interests you about films or why you love watching movies?
hmm I would have to say it probably started around in college where I met my friends who all of them they were just very I'd call them my movie nerd friends. They loved movies and whatnot and never really thought of movies that much until they came along and we just talked and discussed movies more and it just made me more interested in different kind of movies and exploring different things about that. Just things like that.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And so I guess that kind of answered my third question, how you fell in love with films.
Yeah, that kind of yeah, just the same of what like always watch intrigued of whatever like I'm sure I'll watch some like Instagram or TikTok and then they'll be like watch this movie and I'll be like okay, it looks cool. Just
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, hey, I'm not ashamed to say I find a lot of the movies I watch on Instagram or TikTok or
oh
even
definitely.
Facebook, so it's just
Mhm. Everyone's
um
recommendations are always I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. Why not?
yeah. Yeah, I mean I mean everybody that's the thing I also kind of love is everybody's seen different things.
Mhm.
And so recommendations are like I think one of the things that bring film lovers and moviegoers together is even if it's something you normally wouldn't watch, then being recommended and whether you like it or hate it doesn't really matter. You've now
Mhm.
watched a movie that you normally wouldn't have watched on your own.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
And so, well, Tyler, of course, if our audience looks at your shirt, today we are here to discuss Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And when I asked you to be on the podcast, I really wanted to discuss this film with you,
Mhm.
um, because I know you're a big fan. And so I wanted to ask, can you give us a little history? Like, when was your first watch? What made you exactly fall in love with this film?
So my first time, I think I've wanted to watch it for a while. I it was couple. It's been a while. I think maybe in like freshman sophomore year during Halloween, my friends and I we just like came back. We were done trick or treating or whatnot, and I was like, let's find a movie. And then I was like, you know what? Let's watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I don't know, something must have just clicked, and suddenly I'm like, I am obsessed with this. I am
Yeah.
obsessed with this movie, and just all of it is so good.
Oh yeah. It's definitely a really wacky time. It's
Oh,
it's a
definitely,
lot of
yes.
fun.
Mhm.
Um, I'd say my how I fell in love with it is kind of similar.
Mhm.
I had grown up a horror fan, and I don't know, I'm sure this was on Netflix or something, and I had came across it and watched it, and but yeah, and so I just knew, talking with you that you were a big fan of this series. You even dressed up as one of the clowns for Halloween, and
Mhm.
so I figured what better film to have you talk about than the one that you love.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So, I guess I'm ready to get rolling if you are.
Absolutely.
So we open on a space-themed title card before we hear the super catchy theme song from the Dickies titled Killer Clown.
So good.
As we come down, we see a burger joint and the locals gathered eating their supper. We follow a cop as he drives through the town. Hard cut to the town's makeout spot. We see teens gathered partying and swapping spit. Suddenly, an ice cream truck pulls up to sell these kids ice cream, but the teens make them leave, which we then find out are also students with these kids making up.
Hmm.
Um, we predominantly follow two couples, Debbie and Mike, who are star watching. I think that's what I call star shopping. I don't know, something about it.
Stargazing.
Stargazing. Yes, yes, that's what they're doing.
Yep.
And then I wanted to make a quick side note with you.
Hmm.
When I was watching, I know I've watched this probably a few times. I just noticed these two are drinking champagne.
Yeah.
What what high schoolers are drinking champagne?
I don't. I don't know. That's very. I. They're very weird for that one.
Yes,
Like
yes, for
champagne
sure.
is not good. I don't. I don't know why they.
No.
Whatever. I guess. Just
Um,
whatever.
yeah, I guess, whatever's in the cabinet.
Hmm.
But we do follow the two couples, Debbie and Mike, who were stargazing. And as they're doing that, they see this bright orb fly through the sky. And they decide to go find where it landed. We cut to an old man and his dog watch the comet, where they watch the comet too and they think they struck gold. And we follow them as we see bright yellow and red circus tent. I took a note that this is a great establishing opening. It introduces the town and hints towards the clowns and the tent, which will definitely become important later. What did you think about this quick little opening?
It was very good. I think it's definitely a red flag if you're just like, yeah, there's a circus tent in the middle of the forest. I definitely should
Yeah,
support that.
yeah, no,
Definitely. God, such a yeah, but yeah, that was very yeah.
absolutely. Well, then we see the elderly man and his dog make their way to the circus tent and notice there is a crowd. There is no crowd or ticket booth, which is really odd for a circus tent.
Yeah.
As he walks, we see the shadow of a clown following him. The man's dog stops and notices the shadow before a portal opens and snatches the dog up. The man hears his yelp and finds nothing but the dog's red bandana. The man in disarray punches the tent but breaks his wrist before grabbing a wire and getting electrocuted. Suddenly, a clown emerges from the woods and shoots him with his laser gun. I took this note because now we know the threat of the clowns. I mean,
Uh-huh.
of course, from the title, I'm assuming these clowns are going to be killer.
Yeah, yeah.
However, now we know they have these advanced technology.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to beat aliens? And I think that's a big thing you see in film is there's a lot aliens are always technologically advanced.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about this now opening?
I think to me, I was like, this is like the scariest part of the movie. Like the way he like shakes in this bright pink and whatnot. I thought that was scary. And then of course the clown like laughs right after and like they're scary. Like these clowns
Yeah,
are scary things. Like they're not trying to be like I wouldn't like yeah, they're just so wrinkly and like
yes,
like clowns aren't supposed to be like attractive looking, but like they definitely were not. There's just
no,
there's these tall thing like I'd say almost 10 feet almost
yeah,
like I would be terrified like in the middle of the forest, some random circus, and then this 10-foot clown comes out of nowhere. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Fuck that.
I not, yeah would never think of wanting to go near it.
Oh yeah. No, I think the design of these clowns is actually super amazing, and
Mhm.
I think that's a big appeal of this film is it's a fun, goofy film on a micro budget, but the clown design and the effects look so good.
They're so good. They're so yeah, just so much intricate detail on the face and they're like yeah, and even like I know watching throughout the movie, but like every clown is just there's no two same clown. They're all different
Nope.
designs, and they're just all, yeah. There's a whole. They're so amazing.
And they all have their own personality too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know that they all have names. You never explicitly hear the names in the movie.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it's nice when they have this, when filmmakers have this set up where we have these slapstick characters that don't talk, but we're going to give them each their own personality. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something, as you know, as a guy like me, I love Charlie Chaplin, I love Buster Keaton, I love all those little silent films from the 1920s.
Yep.
And so to see that kind of incorporated into horror, and you have these funny little slapstick clowns, you know, goofing off around the town, as we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun, and I think, to me, that's a big part of the appeal for the film. What do you think about that?
I think, yeah, it's the fact that they thought about giving like every clown a different personality is like, that's a lot of thought into that. Like,
Yes.
there's almost like 40-ish clowns, and you have to think of a personality for each of them. And like,
Right?
that's insane. Like, I would not have thought that far into it, I would think.
Yeah, no, Disney only had 7 dwarves, and they could only make 7 personalities. I can't imagine having this many clowns, all with their own little angry, mopey, whatever personality.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, then we cut to the police station, where a cop has found 2 punk teens drinking in the local park. Officer Mooney is awfully violent towards the kids, and wants to hit the books with them and destroy their life. However, Officer Hanson is a logical cop, which I took a note is a rare breed amongst police.
Yeah, gotta
Um,
love police brutality. Gotta
oh
love it.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And they actually did. That was the big note I took here. I think, in terms, you know, as somebody that loves writing and is interested in filmmaking, this is probably one of the best, and it's a little cartoonish, but it's one of the best examples of good cop and bad cop.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like,
Like,
one is like, he's like, I will do anything to ruin these kids, and the other one's like, did you do any training? Did you like?
yeah,
He's like, did you do the police stuff? Just
yeah.
like,
Like,
he
remember the
actually thinks
academy.
logical. Yeah, he
Yeah,
actually got trained and is like very logical thinking of this, and the other guy's like, I'm gonna ruin everyone's lives.
yeah. Well, it's kind of I don't know if prolific's the word, but it's kind of fitting for today, where, you know, this 16-year-old gets caught with a little weed in his car, and now all of a sudden we got 15 felonies, and he's outcasted, and
Jail for life.
yeah. We don't want
God.
none of that in our peer
Mm-mm.
society. No.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, very outrageous behavior. I was like,
oh
oh,
yeah. Oh yeah. And I also wanted to say that they designed these 2 teenagers like the most cartoonishly troubled, like, 80s. Like, when you think of the Just Say No movement of the 80s, you think of like these 2 teenagers, like they're in like their punk rock attire, they got their mohawks, their eyeliner on,
yeah,
and they're portrayed to be the bad kids, and they're even like, it was just a little bit of my mom's wine, man.
just a
Like, it's like,
little.
yeah. Oh well.
Oh well, whatever. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I guess. So we cut back to Debbie and Mike from earlier as they drive down the dirt road that we saw the old man walk through. Um, and they get out and walk the rest of the way. And we watch the two as they finally make their way to the circus tent we saw earlier. Debbie is concerned and anxious, whereas Mike is excited and intrigued. Kind of your basic 80s horror trope where the girl doesn't want to do it, and then the guy's like, no, come on, we got to.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'll impress you.
Yeah, no, he's gonna woo her.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike eventually convinces Debbie to go inside with him. Once inside, we see bright neon colors and silly, like, art designs. And I wanted to take this note and talk to you because I know you're really big into art.
Mhm.
I thought the set design for this film was so amazing anytime they were in the
Okay.
spaceship.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm thinking of it now. I'm like, yeah, such bright colors everywhere. Like, for this, little ship or whatnot, or not little, but there's so many different like dudes and dads, whatever. It's just like nothing like made sense in this circus tent. It just was
No,
whatever. It was literally like I don't even know.
no. I would pay to get a tour of it because this
Exactly.
thing.
I'm thinking of it now. I'm like, I feel like we got very little, like a very little look at like the entire circus tent, because I'm like, we looked through like at least like a little hallway, and then like, I mean, there was two big rooms we looked at, which would take up a lot of space, but I feel like
Yes.
there would have to be more to this tent, and I'm curious to see like what was the idea of like what more rooms there would be, or what it would look like, or anything. Just
All the more reasons we need a sequel.
for real, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so then the two walk around the interior of this circus tent slash spaceship, as we find out, before finding a series of 3 elevators. And I can't remember, I didn't take note. I think they go to the middle one.
I think so.
Which leads them to like an energy reactor. To where it's like, this isn't a circus tent. And they pretty much discover, yep, this is no regular circus tent, because I don't know many circus tents that have a huge nuclear
Energy ball.
Yeah, no. And so as Debbie freaks out and they get out of the elevator, we see a shadow walking down the hallway, which forces Debbie and Mike to go to a different elevator, which is on the left this time, I remember. Which leads them into like this refrigerator area that's kind of empty, but kind of not. There's some of these like little weird cotton candy, like meat bags, almost like cocoons, I should say.
Yeah.
Hanging off the wall. And Mike and Debbie walk up to it, and Mike goes and grabs a piece. And as he pulls it back, we see a bloody head appear from the bag as a clown walks into the room. What did you think about this reveal? I think it was amazing.
Oh yes, definitely. Just the fact that there's people in these cocoons, that's terrifying. Like you never like I mean that explains what happened to the old guy earlier. Like you didn't see what happened to him. He was in this pink bright light, and suddenly we cut, but now he probably got turned into a cocoon and stuff.
Yes.
And like are you alive in there, or like
Yeah.
like they look like they're dead now, but like are you sitting in this cocoon like not able to move, or what? You're just being like melted down into whatever or something, because obviously he wasn't like red or pink before, and now he's like all mushy looking. And
Yeah. How I almost wonder now that you say that, if like they're dead the second they enter in it, or if they're almost kind of in like a state of paralysis where like they're still a living, breathing organism. However, they're just trapped inside this, because later, as we'll get into, we see one of our main characters trapped in a ball. He's still alive. So, I love that question that you drew up there. Are they alive, or are they dead while inside these cocoons?
Yeah, exactly. Like you never, because most of the time they're not saying anything. So by the time they are, they're probably dead. But
yeah. So Debbie and Mike narrowly escape the clown and make it out of the tent before in the nick of time. Before getting noticed by more clowns, obviously. We watched the clowns run out and tie a balloon dog in a super funny scene, and it sniffs out the two, and the chase is on. We watch another narrow escape as Debbie and Mike finally escape the clowns. The clowns do not let this slide, however, and in the first logical moment in horror history, the two make their way to the police station as we watch the clowns walk into town. Now, we're kind of in this area where the clowns see the whatever town name 5 miles ahead sign.
Yeah.
Now we're in a situation where now the clowns have discovered the town and now have more have better access to getting more victims. What do you think about this major turning point in the story?
Shit is ramping up. Things are about to go down. I do gotta mention though, like when they're escaping, they shoot this giant like popcorn bazooka gun.
Yes.
So crazy. Like that thing, like I took a note that apparently that was their like most expensive prop that they made. It
Oh,
was
really?
like yeah, like their most expensive prop was the popcorn gun, which was like $7,000 to make.
Damn.
Yeah, that for that like, and it only they got like a little shot of it. I'm like, that's insane. But
Yeah, no.
God, that popcorn gun is that is so fun. Just watching popcorn fly everywhere
Yeah.
and shit. It's just now they're covered in popcorn. They're running to the police, and then like as soon as like because they when they're running, they hit some of the clowns with their car, of course. And
Yeah.
then like they're gone, and these clowns get up, and then another song starts playing. That song's so good. It's like
Yeah.
this like very ominous, like rocky song, and it's just and then they start walking to town, and you're like, oh god, things are about to start happening.
Yes. No, yeah, yeah, when you brought up the props, I do absolutely love the prop design of all the weapons that they have.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Um,
brought out my own ones.
oh,
Yes. I gotta bring it out. Their one gun. They so amazing. So just so weird. It's such a weird gun. It's just whatever the hell it's doing. It spins, it makes weird noises. It's absolutely alien and whatnot.
yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you holding the gun is now the thumbnail. I think it's gotta
Absolutely.
be. Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's so awesome. But
Oh
no,
yes.
and then you mentioned that $7,000 and they only used it for like that little quick cut. Like I'm like, no, if I paid 7,000 for that, that's in the whole freaking movie. Like it's
Well, and I heard that like they only got it to be able to work once. Like other shots, it must have not been able to work. It just would not work for them.
gee, yeah, no, it looks sick. That's all that matters.
It's so cool. Just this giant, like literally like this big gun, like
Yeah.
holding it. Jesus, so crazy.
I think I need to buy it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, so yeah, then we arrive at the police station, where Officer Hanson hears Mike and Debbie's bizarre story and is just as confused, but invites them inside to talk. As the three talk, Officer Mooney makes his way out and shrugs the two off as crazies, like you kind of would if somebody's talking
Obviously,
about alien crazy clowns killing people.
yeah,
However, Officer Hanson decides to head to the circus tent, which I think this is another. There's quite a few that we get of good cop, bad cops, and I think this is another great moment of establishing that good cop, bad cop. What do you
yeah.
think?
I think it's great that what was the good guy's name? I forgot.
Officer Hanson.
Hanson. I think, yeah, he's like, yeah, these kids sound fucking crazy, but like, you're a cop. You have to, if you get a report, you should be checking it out.
Yes.
Whatever crazy report it is, like, you should at least check it out. And if you can dismiss it there, then whatever. Then it's just, he's at least is doing his fucking job. Like,
Yeah.
besides, like, because who knows, like, even if they didn't look, like, people could still get hurt. Like, obviously, people do, but like, just check it out, dude. I don't know. It's not that hard, and then be like, whatever.
Literally, they're paying you to check out people's problems. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So in the town, we see the clowns perform numerous slapsticks, like a puppet show or the one doing the robot outside the drugstore.
Yeah.
But suddenly the puppet show that I had mentioned takes a sinister turn as it takes a civilian's life, which I believe, if I am correct, is the first time we see these clowns finally harm a citizen besides the old man.
Yeah.
We watch him get shot with that little ray gun before turning into the cotton candy bag. So now we know how these people turn into these cotton candy bags.
Yep.
At the drugstore, the owner shakes and shivers as we watch a clown just beat up the store.
I gotta say, his acting in that scene is so funny. It's just like every time you look, he's like,
yeah,
like it's the same. I swear to God, it's the same like scene every time they cut back to him doing the same like.
yes,
It's just the acting in this movie is so. It's like it's a good amount of like it's okay, and it's some of it like this is incredibly cheesy. Like
Yeah, yeah.
some very cheesy like back to the puppet show that I look at that guy, I'm like actively cringing watching him. Like he's just the way he acts, I'm like he looks funny to me. I don't know, like the way he does faces and whatnot, but he's
The
just
acting is it's so middle school theater.
oh
Like
yes.
it's almost kind of cute because it's so melodramatic and so over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. It's a guilty pleasure.
You can tell this movie is a B tier movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's the king of B movies.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, and as the clown defaces the store, we see the two girls who watched the robot go down, now wrapped up in the cotton candy bag. And we cut back to Officer Hansen as we reveal him and Debbie have a past. Now, I wanted to take a note kind of for the audience,
Mm-hmm.
because now things are going to get a little bizarre.
Yep.
This film is kind of all over the place.
Yes. Yep.
To the point it's kind of hard to make a coherent. I like to make a timeline of events and then talk about that, and then whatever we have both written down for little fun facts, notes, or whatever, then like that's just, this one was probably, I have a feeling, is going to be the hardest one because it bounces here and then we're here and then we're at silly clown bit back over here, and it's hard to tell a coherent timeline.
Yeah, you don't know if like all the like clown and like whatever is happening at the same time, or if they're like they totally could be like one's here. Yeah, it's just they bounce all over with these clown incidents, and then you go back to the story and you're like, how long has it been?
Yeah, well, and I made this note because now is about to be the turning point where we really get into the batshit bizarro, what the hell's happening part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And so just stick with us. Tyler and I'll try and work our magic.
Yep.
So yeah, once again we see the clowns gang up on innocent civilians and turn them into cotton candy bags. All of these kills I noted feature stellar visuals, especially, I don't know what the budget was for this, but they all, I mean, they're cheesy, but they look relatively good. What do you think about them?
I think I read somewhere that the budget was like 2 million only.
Okay.
And I just, they're very like, it's very just bright colors in your face everywhere, and just like these clowns are like, I always like to, I go back to that scene in the store, and it's funny to me that when they do cut to where the girls are in cocoons, you can see their feet sticking out. Like you can tell it's them again, which is funny, but also I'm like, you've never seen like limbs sticking out really of like cocoons. It's a very weird, like, I mean, it's funny, but it's a weird bit because like either you're completely entombed in this thing and you're sticking out. But
Yes.
it's just, they're very, very all over. There's like, I know, they're such crazy kills.
Absolutely. So after we find out Hansen and Debbie have that little background together where they dated for a period of time, Officer Hansen takes Debbie home and says he will only take Mike to the spot where the tent is. At Debbie's house, she speaks the map privately. She initially says that she will follow him from behind, but after some convincing from Mike, stays home and locks her door. Mike leads Officer Hansen to the tent. Before we see, the tent is now gone. No convincing can get Mike out of this, as we see Officer Hansen put him in cuffs.
Which is crazy.
That's
kind of crazy of a like immediate like, this guy probably looks like he lied to you, but you're putting him in cuffs. Like,
well, it's because he's dating his ex. I mean,
what a weird. You gotta. The poor police guy's like, I have to third wheel these two.
The police are like so bad at their jobs in this movie. Like it's honestly pitiful.
Really bad, really bad.
But I wanted to ask you, the tent is now gone. Now we're left with a horrifying question of where the hell are these clowns?
Yeah, like how like they're still roaming around, and then their tent's gone. Like there's this giant crater and whatnot. Just who know I like how'd that thing disappear so quickly?
Yeah. And I mean, later we find out where it is, but
Yeah,
I mean, as an audience, we're watching, we're like, what? You know, like it
how's
was
it
just
gone?
here.
Like it's a huge tent. You'd assume it like if it's like a regular tent, which it's not, you'd assume they take it down or whatnot, but
Yeah. Well, and
no idea.
what I find is so funny is there's like a giant hole in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and which obviously would insinuate that something was there, but the
Yeah.
officer's just like, nah, well, it's
No,
from
it
the
was
house.
didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Jesus.
Um, Now we begin my favorite sequence in the film. When I tell people I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I'm like pretty specifically talking about this part. Um, we see bikers drive to the local biker bar.
Yep.
Uh, Before we see a badass shot of a clown riding his little trike before getting laughed at by the gang of bikers who make fun of his bike and destroy his tricycle in front of him. This saddens the clown, who disappears before coming back with boxing gloves on. This is the fight of the century. Bigger than Ali versus Foreman. Bigger than Mayweather versus McGregor. Bigger than any event you could ever see. We watch the two square up before the guy literally before the clown literally knocks his block off. We see the head in a super cheesy bit fly off into a trash can, and like this very obvious like mannequin just fall to the ground as the
Rumble
bikers,
unto itself.
yeah, the bikers scatter and run. Um, what did you think about this scene? I love it.
I gotta say, poor Shorty, man. He did not deserve his name's Shorty. The clown's name is Shorty, of course.
Yeah,
Did not deserve any of that. um, that's honestly kind of terrifying to just watch a clown like with like he's this short little thing. You would not expect him to like fully knock off a guy's head with simply punching him.
yeah,
Like that is they have some impeccable strength which is
yeah,
crazy. Like how do you just it's scary
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I
Everybody
think
was right for running away.
and I just find how funny like as soon as his head his of course his head lands in a trash can, of course, because it's got to happen. And then they cut back, and his body literally just crumples right into itself. It's so funny, so
It's
funny.
like it's literally the cheapest looking part, but it's
It's
so
so good.
he almost like the body just like death drops. Like it's so funny.
It's funniest ragdoll ever. Oh my god.
Yeah. Immediately from that, we cut to what I consider to be the actual scariest part of the film. We go to the burger joint that we see in the beginning,
Oh yeah.
and we see a clown lure a little girl outside, a hammer hidden behind his back. We watch the little girl slowly creep to the front door and opening it before her mother stops her in the nick of time and tells her to go back and finish her food. I wanted to talk because this part is like low key. Like we have all this fun bouncing around and stuff, this goofiness, and then we have like this really creepy kind of child abduction scene. It kind of freaked the hell out of me upon a rewatch. What did you think?
This would have been like if they went through with this kill. This would have been gruesome.
Yeah,
Like he didn't have any funny like gun. He didn't like he had a fucking mallet, like this huge mallet. Like this kid, blood everywhere. Seriously, like this would have been like gruesome to watch. I was like, holy
yeah,
shit, this is scary. Like this was genuinely like it was creepy. Like and like this clown, like he was this like biggest clown ever. Like I think his name was Jumbo. I think that one was Jumbo, and he's so creepy. He had like I gotta say one of the creepier faces and just
yeah.
genuinely terrifying. I was gonna
No,
say.
yeah. Yeah, that scene it almost makes me wonder if like, and of course I didn't do any like real like fact checking on this part, but it almost makes me wonder if like in the original script he had like the writers had written down like kills little girl, and then people who are distributing and producing this film were like, yeah, we're not having a little girl get murdered in the
I
movie.
yeah,
Like,
I wonder how they would think, like, because this movie was like in 1988. Like, I don't know if any movies ever touched killing kids. Like, as far as
yeah,
I know, I don't think any movies would touch that
I mean,
idea.
modern day, they really don't.
It's yeah.
Um, I mean, completely off topic. I was just watching Terrifier 3 last night because I was like, whatever, you know, it was late at night. I couldn't really fall asleep, so I'll turn on Terrifier.
Of
And
course, like you
yeah,
do.
like yeah. And it got to the opening where it's like the family on Christmas morning, and they show all the deaths except for the two kids in the house. And so I'm like, if Terrifier isn't touching it, 98% of films probably, I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
film out there that has done it, but
I'm sure. I don't doubt that, but yeah, like I mean, yeah, hear it, in which I think that's almost even more terrifying that you hear it and don't see it.
yeah,
Like I was like when I watched Terrifier 3, I'm like, holy shit!
yeah, no
I was
kidding.
like, God, that's. I mean, I heard that was gonna happen, but I'm like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
It was,
um,
yeah,
yeah, but now back on to Killer Clowns.
yep.
Officer Hansen pulls up to the makeout spot with Mike in the back seat. He pulls over and begins searching the premises before seeing cotton candy webbing on all of the vehicles. He opens up the door to I think it's a Bronco,
Mhm.
and sees the interior all covered in this webbing. And he finds this pair of glasses. He goes back and he opens Mike's door and takes off the cuffs and then hands him said pair of glasses covered in cotton candy. Mike convinces Officer Hansen of everything that is going on. Back at the station, Officer Mooney answers a phone call from a frantic citizen whom he does not take into consideration before getting another call from the drugstore clerk, and another, before almost getting the point, before just saying to hell with all of them. And I wanted to take this note because I hate this guy.
Sucks.
Your town is in peril, and all you're gonna say is, "Ah, to hell with them."
Like, are you seriously not concerned, like, at all this entire time about like even like the guy from the store, like he like from little context clues we get that they must know each other or something, like they
Mhm.
must have been friends, and he's calling and like being genuinely concerned, and you hear him screaming too, and this guy's like, must have been a prank. Like, are you
April
for
Fools.
real? Are you
Yeah.
for real? Are you for real right now? It was
Oh
that was
yeah.
it was bad. That was I was just like, are you serious? Are we for real
It,
right now?
it hurts my head. Like
It
it's
hurts. It hurts to watch.
there's no way someone can be that ignorant.
No,
Like,
God, it was bad.
um, but yeah. So and then I took a note here. Um, that we can discuss because it now got to the point in the movie where I'm like, I cannot write down every clown antic and keep the story going. So I just wrote down the clown's antics in this movie are so funny, but it's hard to write them all down. And I just kind of wanted to like do like a brief discussion how I think that makes the cult following for this film. And I think
Uh-huh.
people need to watch this film in order to understand what we're talking about. Do you think the clown's antics, and I mean, we could discuss looks and set designs and art and stuff. Do you think the antics alone make this such a big cult followed film?
I think yes, watching what the clowns do a lot is very like what people love to see. Like seeing the clowns is probably what people love to see about this movie, of course. Just seeing what they're up to and stuff. They're just so funny. Like, yeah, some different ones they did were like one showed up with like Valentine's candy, one showed up with pizza. It was just they walked around there like it was just so many different montages of kills and whatnot and stuff, and like always something crazy to do.
Yeah, I took a note, and I was gonna ask you. I didn't know until I had read one of my fellow like letterbox friends reviews, and he had mentioned like, no, I haven't played the game. Did you know there was a video game for this?
I did. I knew this game was like announced in like 2018, I think.
Oh,
And like I think it took them a while until I think like 2022 or 23 it finally came out. And I did want to play it. I was very hyped for it. And I think it turned out to be another Dead by Daylight game. I think is kind of
Oh,
what happened. And then yeah, no one really played it and whatnot. So I didn't even get the game. So I was just like, yeah. And by the time if I did want to get it now, no one's probably playing it. So
that's fair. No, I didn't know that there was a video game. I mean, I'd
uh-huh.
watched some gameplay. It looked fun, but I'm not a huge gamer, so I'm sure I wouldn't
Yeah,
be good
it
at it.
just it looks interesting. I probably would play it if there were players, but
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
I
know
think that game's dead. I think that
yeah,
game's
I
dead.
mean, I played a lot of Dead by Daylight in high school, so I'm
Mhm.
sure, but yeah. We cut to Debbie who is getting ready for her shower. And we see the popcorn that was shot from earlier now kind of start to jitter on the
Mhm.
ground a little bit. As we cut to a clown then putting popcorn in a dumpster, which causes the bin to move around, which makes an employee throw the garbage away. Um,
Mhm.
he hears some chirping, and when he checks, he gets sucked in. We then cut to Mike and Officer Hansen drive around for a bit to take the glasses to the police station. Um, before they come across a clown doing its puppet show to an audience, which of
Mhm.
course Officer Hansen and Mike stumble upon. Um, Suddenly, his shadow puppet comes alive and eats the people. In a frenzy of emotion, the car crashes into a wall, and the clown narrowly escapes to the sky. I wanted to talk to you because I actually think this puppet show bit might be my favorite little cool thing about this movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that the show was really that one was like a really interesting scene to watch. I just it's crazy to me to think that these these things have like four fingers and like these chubby four fingers and he's doing like obviously he can't able to make it look, but like you look and he's making like some like sexy woman on the the side or some like patriotic boat with like 10 different people on the boat. I'm like that's insane. Like
Yeah,
to think they can just like manipulate shadows into that and then to make the shadow into a physical thing and then eat people.
yeah,
Crazy. And like it doesn't it like from what I can remember, it I don't think he actually eats them. Like I it cuts back to where I think he has them in his hands. Like
oh
he
yeah,
shrinks them down and puts them in his bag, which is that's insane that they just can do that. They can just do
yeah.
that.
It makes you truly wonder how
Hmm.
powerful these clowns are.
It feels like they can almost do like anything, and they just like they jump really high, and they have so much they do, and it's just like what can't they do?
Right. um
God.
uh Officer Hansen calls to Officer Moody to contact the state about the clowns for help. But as you can imagine, Moody is a raging douche and doesn't believe him. Mike sees his friends in the ice cream truck and he goes after them, whereas Hansen goes back to the station. Mike finds his friends and explains to them the current situation, and they don't believe him, but agree to take him to Debbie's house upon learning about her roommates. Uh, Classic straight 80s macho men.
They got boobs. Even when I
Yeah,
couldn't get them, they got boobs.
yeah. At the station, Mooney refuses to so much as answer a phone. He's letting every call ring out before a clown walks in. Mooney tries to intimidate him, but gets liquid shot in his face. Mooney rounds the deck and gets face to face with the clown and orders him to turn around and handcuff him. But the clown's hand comes off. Mooney pulls a gun on the clown and orders it into the cell with the punks from earlier and hits the clown with a baton before closing the door. The clown blows a toy. I forget what they're called. That
I
little,
think they're like party blowers. I think that's
yeah,
what they're called.
um, party blower into his neck before killing him, as we find out. Um,
Yeah.
Officer Hansen then arrives to a dark station with clown prints all over the floors and wall. He continues to follow him before leading him to the holding cell and seeing the cotton candy bags. Upon ripping one open and seeing the face, one of the punk's hands falls out from the top one. Um, Officer Hansen runs out before seeing the clown waiting for him in the office with Mooney's body as a ventriloquist dummy. The clown's hand eventually stands up. But Officer Hansen shoots at the clown. But it does nothing. He's shooting him in the gut and it's doing nothing. But finally, he decides to shoot it in its nose, where we see confetti shoot out, and it does like this weird spinny pyramid thing before exploding in the air, giving him time to call the state. I talked a lot there, so I hope that was easy to grab. This is a great scene, and we now know how to kill the clowns, but also there's a lot we can discuss in this scene.
Yeah.
We now know how to kill the clowns, but also we just saw that creepy ass ventriloquist moment with Officer Mooney. What did you think about like this whole probably about 10-minute bit?
Yeah, I it's such an interesting concept that the only way to kill these things is by the nose. Like just popping apparently you can pop their nose and they'll just spin and green lights everywhere and they'll explode. I know I've seen some theories on kind of reasons why or something. We could discuss that later once we know more, but it's just hot take. I don't think the ventriloquist thing was as scary as it could have been. I think to me the like he goes like, "Don't worry, Hansen, all we want to do is kill you." And I'm like, that's what you wanted to say? Like, I mean, it's scary. Like being able to like put your hand through them and like ventriloquist, that's scary. That's what you say? I'm like, it could have been, I think it could have been a little scarier, but it is scary. I'm like, whatever. But
maybe with better writing.
Better writing, better whatever. It's fine. It was scary. Just the whole scene, like, I think I forget his name already. The bad guy cop. Mooney. When the clown shows up the first time and he does things like, okay, first of all, you show up and this clown is like towering over you. Are you not worried? Are you not like, I know he's supposed to be like this bad guy, like bad cop, like he has such a like big confidence, he like rules this place. Are you really not concerned about this thing that obviously is not human like height at all, and it's just towering over you, and you do you're trying to like beat him into submission and he's not doing that, and he's like his hands fall off, he's not even speaking to you, like you're not concerned at all for your well-being. Like,
no,
I don't
it's
know. Very, I don't know. He was something. He was a cop.
No. Mooney was definitely the most satisfying death of the film.
Exactly. Yes. And to come back and this clown escaped, of course, and you see the the shoe prints all over the wall. That was like, that's scary to know that it just can defy gravity, do all that. So crazy, such a crazy scene.
It's a really good scene, and I mean, I really, it was a lot to speak there, so I hope the audience was able to catch all that.
Coherent enough.
I know I was writing on my phone, I was like looking up
a
and
lot
down
was happening.
A lot happens in this movie. It's like 80 minutes long, and it's never boring. It's never boring.
There's always something happening all the
time. Mike and his friends kind of goof off in the car before running into the parade of clowns who are almost like in like a Dr. Seuss like kind of vehicle, scraping up like these body bags
Mm-hmm.
of the cotton candy. And I wanted to note you, I was like, when we talk about like cool moments and cool props in this film, this is kind of what I'm talking about, is it's beautiful design and beautiful looks.
Like this was definitely like one of the biggest, like not the biggest lead up, but this was like a big like peak of like they turn a corner, like no one, there's nothing happening, no one's around, no clowns, and they turn a corner and there's this huge parade of clowns. There's like streamers everywhere, and like cocoons and just clowns roam, like they fill up the street and whatnot, and like
Yeah.
this big like ominous parade music is playing, and it's just, that's like a huge, like pretty insane scene to turn around and suddenly there's just, yeah, it's like some weird like whatever, like you said, some Dr. Seuss looking like car they're driving. It's just, it was super, it's such a cool scene, seeing all the
Yeah.
different, and like you can look around and all the clowns, like back to like the no clowns are the same. You literally look around and no clowns are the same. Like they're all
Yeah.
so different looking, and like you have to wonder how long it took them to make so many different molds for
Oh,
faces and whatnot. Like it just was like so intricate, and everyone was different looking.
yes. 100%.
Hmm.
I think, you know, I think myself specifically, I've talked a lot about the set design and the prop design. I haven't given enough time to truly talk about the costume design in this, because
Uh-huh.
it is so amazing, the design of these aliens. I mean, when I think necessarily up to this point, when clowns were in movies, they were, and I mean, these clowns do have the stereotypical big nose and all this stuff, but
Hmm.
these clowns, I think, kind of shaped the way it inspired modern clown horrors. You know,
Hmm.
I think in a way, and I can't fact check this, but in a way, to me, I'm like, I wonder if this didn't kind of inspire the look of Pennywise in the new It movies. You know, like kind of like the big foreheads, you know, like the crack in the paint. You know, I'm
Uh-huh.
like I think this film truly changed how we viewed clown horror in its
Yeah.
entirety.
And that, yeah, like, yeah, thinking about like Pennywise and like the movie, like It series, like I'm surprised, like, because I know when It came out, there was this whole clown craze, like
Mhm.
like everywhere you'd see creepy clowns, and I'm almost surprised this movie did not start like some sort
Yeah.
of clown. Like I don't know because I didn't like see if there was, but like I would have been surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if this definitely started a lot of like inspiration for clowns, like. I wouldn't. I'm surprised. Like this wouldn't have started like a clown craze. Like
Yeah.
obviously, like I read it. I like looked into it, and this movie did pretty much bomb when it came out. But like even then, like even like when it did start becoming popular, like no, yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, the big thing with like these cult followed films is like a lot of them bombed and were
Hmm.
absolutely horrible. None of them, like most of them weren't even successes. It's just like people quit talking about them for 5, 10, 15 years. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden you pick up this movie again and you're like, that was a lot of fun. And then you would tell your friends, like, yeah, and I watched this movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. All right, let's go to
Uh-huh.
Blockbuster and rent it. I'm gonna rent it. They love, you know, and I think that's kind of, I think that's how that's how a cult following builds up. Is
Yeah.
it's not like I'm a big fan of the Halloween series. I love Michael Myers. Halloween
Hmm.
3 is notoriously like the worst one in there.
Hmm.
I've now grown to love Halloween 3, and I think people just need these bad films to sit on them for a while, or to sit aside for a while and then come back and watch, because with time it might get better. And I think this is the instance with Killer Clowns.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Like nothing has changed of the movie, but people just find to enjoy it more, but just because it's not even like a good serious movie. Like there's just it's just fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
all the bright colors and these like so many different clowns, and it's enough like creepiness and enough funny. There's just it's perfect. It's such a good,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's not too terrible. I think it has, if I am correct, it has a PG-13 rating. Like it's not
Hmm.
it's honestly, I mean, I know each family's different. It's a movie. I think even as a kid, I could have sat down and watched with my family, like,
Exactly, yeah.
but we cut back to Debbie getting dressed as multiple Jack in the Box kind of looking characters start to attack her. She narrowly escapes the bathroom before hearing Mike's voice, but when she opens the door, it is a clown imitating his voice. She tries to jump out a window, but sees the clowns. There's more clowns waiting down there for her. She is trapped from all angles before is eventually turned into like a little bouncy ball thing. I wanted to write down this is an eerie but cool scene, and now we know that. I mean, we kind of figured with the ventriloquist scene, but now we see for sure that these clowns can imitate people's voices.
That's so scary. They can like full on like yeah mimic voices and whatnot, which is interesting because as far as I know, Mike never really had an interaction with them. So how did they just know how to do that? Like
Yeah,
he never had a fate. Like I mean, sometimes he'd hit that. Like he's Mike's known for hitting clowns with cars. Of course, he's
yeah,
definitely tried it many times. So like that's like the closest interaction he's had with these clowns. How do they know he sounds like this is
right.
like super interesting and whatnot. And another point with the Jack in the Box clowns is like that explains like what the popcorn is like why they're moving is because they like such an interesting way of like their evolution. They start out as popcorn and then they
Yeah,
grow like from what we can assume they grow into these like clown worm things like the
yeah,
very interesting things
yeah.
like
So
that
it's almost like the popcorn is like a larvae,
like a
and
larva or like an egg or
yeah,
something which so gross.
yeah, which makes me
Like
want, yeah. While
I
I'm
don't know
eating my popcorn, I'm like,
like
oh,
clown eggs.
yeah,
Oh god, so gross.
oh yeah. Um, Mike and his friends are unfortunately too late as they see the clowns load Debbie up into like that Susical esque van.
Hmm.
Um, a chase ensues. And Officer Hanson joins in on the chase. When one of the friends sees the police lights and makes the van stop, causing Officer Hanson to crash, totaling his police vehicle. But Officer Hanson hops in and steals the truck. We watch them drive to now a big amusement park. We will get to the amusement park in a second. I just wanted to know how laughably bad this chase is. Like in terms of car chase scenes in movies, with all due respect, this has to be bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, they don't even try, man. Like you watch this scene and the clown car is like going 80. It's like inhumanly fast and they're like on in this slow ass big ice cream truck and it's like how how are you still like it was
Yeah,
just how are you following this thing still? Like this clown car is inhumanly fast and just
yeah,
such a weird scene, such a weird car
yeah.
chase.
Um, but we finally watch as the clowns pull up to the amusement park that we saw from the distance. Um, and we watch one step out, and then another step out, and then another step out, and then another, and so on before like I don't know, I think it was like six or eight clowns are now standing there, and there's a security guard there, and as and and one of my favorite lines, it's the "What are you gonna do with those pies, boys?"
Boys.
The clowns start throwing these pies at him, and it
Jesus.
goes on for like 30 seconds. They're just throwing pies at this poor old man, um, and it melts the guy,
And
like it
then he
melts his
melts.
and like the little one from earlier, as he walks he puts a comically large cherry on top. What did you think about that? I love this scene.
So so outrageous. Oh my god. Because of course you got to bring the clown with a pie into the scene, of course, because of
Yes.
course they're known for pies. Um, just who knows where they got these pies? You know, I mean, obviously they have a clown car. They probably have infinite space in there, obviously. So, but just such a such a perfect scene. I gotta say that was just so funny.
Yes. And I kind of wanted to bring up, I know we've talked about video games, a little bit on here. I kind of thought this design, it kind of, I wasn't born in the 80s, so I never got to see this as a kid, but it kind of reminded me of like the amusement park from like the Lego Batman games a
Hmm.
little bit. Like this, it almost made me wonder if like the designers didn't get a little inspiration from Killer Clowns.
Yeah, 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 I would have to think they probably had some inspiration for some people about amusement parks, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Um, Officer Hanson, Mike, and his two friends finally arrived to the park. They what's the word? They look at the corpse of the security guard as they walk in.
Hmm.
Um, the gang marches through the interior for a while before coming across a red button, which shoots up a cloud of smoke. Uh, as they walk, the two friends fall into a ball pit. We see them stare at two beautiful clowns as Mooney and Mike track down the hallway and get to the same elevators as seen in the beginning. Um, as seen in the beginning. Uh, I wanted to make a quick note. This is one of the coolest looking interior set designs of the film. Just like we've now reached probably like to me the coolest set design part of the
Uh-huh.
film. What do you think about now? Now we see more of this spaceship.
It's weird. I'm well because they don't even walk into the as far as I remember, they don't walk into the ship first. They're in the like scary house first. They're in Killer
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Clown.
You're correct. You're correct.
Because
Yep.
they walk in like these clowns must have just taken over this building too as like a connection to the circus tent, I assume. But such a yeah, such a cool scene. Of course, the Terenzi brothers have to push buttons, whatever they see. Just gotta fuck with everything. And those damn clowns, the
Yeah.
damn girl clowns. Just, of course, they fall into this ball pit and they look up and there's these clowns and their boobs just grow. Like,
Yes. It's
just start growing.
just two comically large breasts.
Hmm.
Like they're just
Uh-huh.
like it's like this. It's like oh my god.
They just keep growing. I'm like, of course, just why not? And I love the callback of the like, they're like, "Are you Debbie's roommates?" Like, just
Yep.
the
Yes.
callback to that. That was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's curious because those are the, as far as I remember seeing, those were like the only two female clowns we've seen. Like, I'm
Mhm.
curious, like, what the whole like biology on these damn clowns are or anything. Like,
Yeah, I guess I don't really know.
it just they never really get explained well. So it's just like, well,
No.
whatever. Boob
Maybe another
clowns.
reason we need it. Another reason we need a sequel. We just need to make sure
Exactly.
just 2 hours of explaining the clown biology to us, and then
Just
we
need a
can.
huge documentary or something.
y-
I don't know.
y- Yes. Mike and Mooney now make it to that same room as earlier with all the bags, which is now completely full. Whereas in the
Mhm.
beginning there was like maybe 12 of them hanging up. Now this room is completely full. Um, Mooney and Mike look through the bags, but are interrupted by a clown. They sneak around and watch him drink the blood from one of the cotton candy bags um, before stealthily finding Debbie and freeing her. Um, I love the unease that this film, that not this film, well, this film, but I love the unease that this room builds, and then the disgusting drinking of the blood from the
Mhm.
bags. What did you think about like this quick little moment?
I think just the debt, like it kind of brings like some sort of dread. Like now you know that these cocoons are people. Like they've caught so many different people from this town that you're like, oh my god, this town's like no one's left.
Yes.
And um when they find Debbie, they like can't find a way to pop it. So Hanson's like, I'll just shoot the balloon, which I mean, I guess that I mean it works, but like that's incredibly dangerous, of course.
Yeah, that could have went wrong.
That could have went totally wrong. But and it's curious to see because you see other balloons like why keep Debbie alive versus the other people they capture. Like
Yeah,
you wonder who else is in balloons and stuff like because there's like seven or more balloons you see and you're wondering like
yeah,
what's the purpose of keeping them alive or I mean she
yeah,
couldn't breathe in the thing. I mentioned no she knows she mentioned well, she mentions she can't breathe in it, but like there must like what else are you doing? Why do you keep her alive versus other people and cocoons?
yeah. There's
Um,
definitely got to be like some super dark reason behind it. Like,
uh-huh. I gotta yeah. And kind of curious what humans would taste after they've been like melted into cocoons. Maybe it's
yeah,
you just gotta wonder maybe, see what maybe they taste like cherry. I don't know.
yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, I, I, I don't know. You know,
They look like some syrup. I don't know.
maybe it's a delicacy in space. I don't know. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. Um, but yes, after freeing her, the three make the big escape, narrowly avoiding clowns by blowing up their noses. We
Mhm.
watch a fun chase scene play out with some very nice neon visuals.
Mhm.
Eventually, they get to a door, which leads to multiple smaller and smaller doors.
It's
Um,
another door. It's
yeah,
another
yeah,
door.
yes. Kind of annoying, but that leads them to the huge circus ring, where they run into multiple clowns cornered. They climb the blocks, but the clowns follow and swing their weapons before the truck smashes through the wall. The friends from earlier, now with their shirts ripped off and kisses all over their face, appear, and they distract the walls where they speak through the megaphone. Um, before like this huge clown puppet descends from the ceiling and destroys the clown van with the friends in it, and averts its attention to the three. Mooney volunteers to be a distraction as Debbie and Mike run out. Before we continue, I wanted to talk about this like mega clown. That thing is,
Clownzilla.
yeah, Clownzilla is
Jojo, I
terrifying.
think his name is Jojo the Clownzilla. He, ooh, so good. The like, now we're at like the peak of the conflict now. Like, this is
Yes.
the conflict. Just the big bad, like, you gotta wonder, how do you get that big? Like, we've seen these
Yeah.
clowns, like, they're huge still. They're like, yeah, like the 10 feet tall clowns. But, like, how do you get that big?
Yeah.
And, how does that, what does that mean for their evolution? Like, do these clowns just infinitely grow or something? Like, is there, like, you gotta wonder, like, if how long their lifespan is or something, like,
Yeah.
brings a lot of questions into how these clowns work or something. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I gotta
Okay.
before I think it's they were yeah like they're roaming. But this is before the Trenzy brothers disappear, but they discuss like what these clown like this. They're actually starting to question these clowns and whatnot, and like what they're doing or what's their purpose. And I think it's very interesting that they bring up like this theory or idea that these clowns must have visited before and have inspired the existence of clowns as a human like social like as a thing for humans like maybe clowns never existed before or were never like an idea that was invented until we were invaded by these clowns before
Yeah.
and we took inspiration and that's why clowns are a thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very interesting idea. Just very something interesting. But anyways, then I'm gonna go back, but then I'm gonna backtrack again. It's gonna be like we when the Trenzy brothers crash through with their truck, I gotta love that Wizard of Oz little reference they make. They're like, "I am the great and powerful clown" or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, such a great Wizard of Oz reference there." Gotta love your references. But yes, but back to the clown, just a huge clown. Like he's just so like and they bring him down and he looks like this giant puppet thing and it's just such an
Yeah.
amazing shot and stuff. And I when I was doing my research, I think they originally wanted to do this scene with stop motion. So I
Oh,
think
really?
Godzilla was supposed to be stop motion. They did go back to making just a suit, but that would have been really interesting to watch this as a stop motion because I think the producer, like a lot of the people who made it, they're brothers. I think they're all like three Chiodo brothers were all working on this thing, and
Wow.
they're very well known for their stop motion, is what I remember when I did my research. So that would have been very interesting to see, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, such a cool scene. You get to finally see this final boss, big clown. Just who knows how they're gonna. You just never know how. You're like, how are we supposed to kill this thing?
Yeah.
Uh
Well,
huh.
I'm glad you told me about that stop motion thing
Uh
because
huh.
that would have been sick.
That would have been so awesome.
That would have been really amazing, and I did not know that. And I really wish we could have got that now. I really do.
For real. I Stop
Um,
motion is always so good to watch.
yes,
So
yes,
totally would have been worth it, but
yes, and so Hanson is now volunteered to be like the human sacrifice or the distraction, whatever you want to call it.
mhm,
Which gives Debbie and Mike time to run out. We see the tent's kind of wire things start to lift up as the tent begins to spin in the air. On the inside, we see this Clownzilla now grab Hanson and pull him up as he pops the huge clown's nose as the ship explodes. But Mooney escapes in the clown car untouched with the brothers we found.
mhm,
Which after he popped this big clown's nose, the spaceship explodes.
mhm.
So to me, I'm like, are we kind of led to believe that that clown is kind of like the heart and the soul of the ship?
I would just say, just because of how, I wouldn't think it would be the heart and soul, just because we do see a reactor, but just because of how big that explosion is, I assume it probably did a lot of damage, which would lead to just more of an explosion or something. Um,
Yes.
just because that clown was huge, like I would obviously think it would probably be like 40 feet or more or something. Like
Yeah.
it was big clown.
It was pretty much like Luke fighting the Rancor. Like that's kind of the
Uh-huh.
vibes I got from this scene.
Yes, yep.
Um, so now back on the ground, the state uh National Guard, whatever you want to call it, state police have finally arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, the Susical car lands, and we see that Mike and the two friends are not Mike, Mooney,
Hanson.
Hanson. God, we're struggling. Almost.
Almost done.
Hanson and the two friends survived. They all share hugs and kind of like celebrating this victory as confetti kind of slowly rains down on them.
Mm-hmm.
Before pie gets thrown at them from the sky, and we hear the clowns giggle as the catchy theme song plays, hinting at a sequel that unfortunately has yet to happen. And that is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
What an ending.
What an amazing ending. I mean, yeah, and it's weird that God, almost 40 years later, there's
Mm-hmm.
still, I mean, there's been constant kind of motion, but
Yeah.
nothing's. And I remember you had sent me something earlier this year about how Ryan Gosling is set to produce
Yep.
either a remake or a sequel. I can't remember what it
I
was.
don't. Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. But of course, to stay on track, I really love this film, and I love the cult presence behind it. I love the cheesiness. I love the design. I love everything about it. I love also just kind of how simple it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a great example of a little can go a long ways.
Oh yes.
I must ask, of course, with you loving this film and everything, what do you think, all in all, about this film?
This movie is Got to be one of my top favorite movies. I didn't mention in my top four, but this definitely has been one of my top four or top 10 movies, I'd say, of my favorite movies. Yeah, when I first watched it, something just clicked, and over time, I've slowly just, I have to say, this movie definitely probably has brought my obsession with clowns. Just in general, I like look around my room and I'm like, I just see clowns there, got this one
Yeah.
mask, just clowns everywhere. I'm like, I'm obsessed with clowns, and it's just, I definitely have to say this movie definitely had to have started that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, probably back. I'm gonna go back to the ending just a little bit, but
Yeah.
the fact that like there had to be more to this ending, because obviously the clowns are alive somehow, even though their ship exploded. Obviously this isn't their entire fleet. This had to be just like a little. I would assume this is just a little bit of them. I mean,
Mhm.
it makes it seem like this was all of their species, but they're alive. I don't. Kind of a weird ending to me. And then they get pied in the face, so you have to assume they're dead now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they're acidic pies.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then yeah, we end on the theme song. Such a good theme song. Just
Yes.
so good. You'll definitely, it's called Killer Clowns from Dickies. Like anyone who's watching this, you'll definitely have to listen to it. Such a good, like, yeah, they have like the clown like da, 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 but like kind of like that, but just in a very nice rock style.
Yes.
It's so good. But yeah, definitely has sparked my interest in clowns a lot. Definitely. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's a very, very, believe it or not, and I know a lot of people, like a lot of friends that I have get very technical with it, and they're like, "Well, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad." I'm like, "Of course, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a movie where you can just shut your brain off and be like, haha, look at funny clown turn people
Funny
kind."
clown do thing. Funny clown with
Yeah,
boobs.
yeah. Like it's like you just get it's pretty much slapstick comedy meets horror
Yeah,
meets
yeah.
creepy clown. Like I'm like it's and I think that's what resonates with me so much for it is it's just a lot. It's weird, it's fun, it's gruesome, it's gory, it's silly, and you smash them all together and you get killer clowns from outer space.
It's a pretty good balance of all those different things. Like these clowns, like they're very colorful and stuff. You wouldn't expect them to be scary, but then you look at their face and they're like all contorted and just like it's enough of like a hat, like a pretty funny but horror aspect. Like it's just very nice balance
Yeah,
of everything.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Well, Tyler, I got nothing else I need to add. Is there anything you wanted to add?
So I I do. I have a little I did some research, and so I found every name of every clown
Oh
on
boy,
a line. As far as I can tell, I have a list here if you're ready for this.
let's do
So
it.
let's do it. Okay, we got Baldo, Bash, Bibbo, Bippo, Blubbo, Boko, Chubby, Crinkles, Danny, Tunk, Fatso, Frank, Hefty, Jimmy, Joe, Jojo Clownzilla, Jumbo, Kilbo, Magory, Mojo, Rudy, Shorty, Slam, Slim, Slumbo, Spiky, Spickroll, Sticko, Storefront, Stizo, and Talls.
I lost count after like 26.
There's like at least 37 names there. And like the fact that they thought of names for like
Yeah.
almost every clown, like, and yeah, just crazy to me. I did mention there was a theory I did see online.
Okay.
I'm moving on from the names. That from like kind of like a theory on their evolution. Stealing this from a YouTube video. But just very interesting, like there was this like discussion of a theory when I did my research that like they grow from their worm thing, and in essence, they're essentially supposed to, like, they could be like a bio like mechanism where they still are the form of their worm, but like their body is like a, like they're kind of like a kind of cyborg almost, where like
Yeah.
you know how like Hansen or Mooney, they try to shoot the clown and they do nothing,
Yeah.
as if like there's no like blood or anything, like they're almost empty, like some sort of
Yeah.
like mechanism, almost something, just something to think about, like where like the only way to kill them is from like the physical like bio
The
nose
nose.
or whatever,
Yeah.
something weird to think about.
That's an interesting theory. Yeah.
Hmm.
I kind of like
Like
that.
their kind of hands, like, yeah, like they can regrow their hands or something, like almost like this worm kind of like fills up this like space of like a kind of like mechanism body. I don't know. Something weird I saw. I was like, definitely have to think about that. That one was,
That might make me a little queasy. I don't know.
I know it's kind of weird to think about, but I'm like, I hope whatever comes more of this, like hopefully this remake, they talk about, they just bring up more interesting ideas or concepts to these clowns, because
Yeah,
like we know
absolutely.
kind of nothing.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you. Which clown did you like the most? Which clown design did you like the most from you?
Oh, you know, just because it's my favorite kill, I think his name you said was Shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Shorty's always been my, just the boxing glove scene. And if I am correct, and I'm probably wrong here, Spirit Halloween sells a costume of his, and it comes with the boxing gloves.
Oh, I think, yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
He's always, when I think of killer clowns, I always think of the little short guy
The short guy, he's got
knocking them.
like the green,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
little, yeah.
knocking the guy's block off.
Uh-huh. I gotta,
That's my favorite.
I gotta say, my favorite is definitely Spiky. This one, yeah, his name's Spiky. His hair is supposed to be more, whatever, it's cheap,
Yeah.
whatever. But just he's got to be my favorite. He's just the very, like, yeah, spiky hair, and I think he has one of the creepier faces.
He does, yeah.
such a long face, and
The
God,
big smile. Yeah.
so scary. Scary shit like that. So yeah, he's got to be my favorite.
Absolutely. Well, if you're all good.
Yep, I'm all out.
Right.
I'm all out of my notes.
Well, thank you, Tyler, for joining me.
Absolutely.
Today. I think we had a great discussion.
Yes, definitely.
I learned more about these alien clowns.
Yes.
I learned all their names too. So
so many.
Good. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining me for another episode of the Big Screen Banter podcast. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe. Be sure to leave down in the comments what movies you'd like to see me review later. Once again, thank you, Tyler, for joining me today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
See you guys again.
See ya.